What's up, people of the internet? Nate Hills coming at you live once again from my man cave with another bike check, bike build, bike tech discussion. I don't know what to call these anymore. I'm basically going to drink a bunch of wine and tell you about my new SB150. People have been asking me, when are you going to build your 150? When's the bike check coming? Before we get started, I want you guys to know that I work with all of these companies. I'm a professional athlete. Everything on this bike, these guys kick down product. They support me as an athlete, as a racer. I just want to be open and honest with that stuff. That said, I picked all these companies to work with for a reason. These are my homies, and big thanks for making these builds possible. Yeah, I'm going to kind of go through why I chose the parts that I did and talk a little bit about spec and maybe inspire you to build a dump truck of your own. This video is sponsored by Worldwide Cyclery. The boys over there, Jeff and the guys, they actually ride, they live and breathe cycling. They're super knowledgeable, they're nerds, and they're shredders. If you're interested in anything that's on this bike, these guys sell almost all the parts. I'm going to leave a link below the video in the description. If you make a purchase on that link, it helps support this channel. Thanks for that. Here we go. This is my new Yeti SB150, 150 millimeters of travel in the rear. They are sticking with their Switch Infinity technology. This is kind of the newer school geometry with a long top tube, pretty slack head angle, short chain stay. The theory behind the new geometry is that they can make the front end longer with a shorter offset fork and get the best of stability and still keep the bike nimble. It is intended for a 170 fork. That's what I'm going to run. That puts the head angle at 64.5 degrees. Seat angle is what's cool on this bike, is it's about 77. It's quite a bit steeper than what you find. Trail bikes started getting kind of slack in the seat tube, and then you can't really climb very well. So as per usual, I'm going to run Clear Bra over all this stuff. I did buy some vinyl. This was $10 for a giant roll, more than I'll ever use in my life, on Amazon. I just did a little customization with some of the things, the stripes, the colors that don't match that color. Put that stuff on wherever, and then I'll go back and run some Clear Bra. You can buy kits to do this. I like to just buy the stuff straight from 3M. But yeah, just kind of line the top tube, down tube. I like to do the outside of chainstays, bang, bang, boom. A little extra protection never hurts, right? Always double wrap it if you're in doubt. And the internet rejoiced. Oh, I don't know if that's gonna work. I haven't had a 6 for a couple of years, so this is kind of like closer to what that bike was for me as far as like a dump truck to run over shit. So yeah, I think this is gonna be a sick rig. I'm gonna put a 170 Lyric on this bike, and that puts the head angle at about 64.5, I believe. This is a Lyric Ultimate. What's new about this thing? Charger 2.1. It's got a little increase to the ride height. For the most part, it's unchanged. They've done their best to get rid of some friction with some new seals, some new fluids inside, and just trying to lessen the breakaway force to get this thing to move. Yeah. And I'm going to measure this thing and cut it properly. And if you hear swearing, I didn't do it right. Ah! Moment of truth. Perfect. This is pretty cool. My friend Tony, who does my custom paint on my helmets, he made me this top cap. I think it matches my Lyric. Thanks, Tony. Yeah, his business is Made Red by Tony. If you need anything custom, he is your dude. While we're talking about suspension here, I am going to start with a RockShox Super Deluxe coil on this guy. They've done the same thing that they have tried to accomplish with the fork, and that's some different fluids. So put in some different seals, try to reduce friction, that sort of thing. Just lower the breakaway forces is basically the big step up there. I do also have the Air Super Deluxe Ultimate. I might try this too. We'll see how this goes. This is going to be just a little more progressive, coil shocks in general, more linear. For what I'm building this bike for, this is kind of the direction I'm going in for smashing into shit and not really having to care. Alright guys, so I am pretty stoked about this. This new RockShox Axis reverb. Cables, I hate cables. The more of that crap we can get rid of, the better. There's lights blinking. You can just come over here and put your seat post up. The breakaway force on this is greatly reduced. Not that thumb fatigue is like a huge thing for me, but some people that maybe have broken a thumb or done whatever, like this is actually pretty rad and pretty ergo. It's good. Ooh, fancy. Everybody loves to hate on the PressFit BB. Not this guy. Just like that. So I am going to run a MRP SXG on this bike. I've said this before in all my videos. All bikes, chain guides, all the time. 99.9% of the time, my chain's gonna stay on. The 0.1% that it doesn't is gonna be my race run. I'm not having that. So I run a chain guide. It's all about that skid plate life, if you ask me. Get buck wild and smash that thing on things, and I don't not need my chain ring so I can keep pedaling. This thing's made out of carbon. It doesn't weigh a whole lot. Noah also sent me this awkward tight purple shirt. I think it might be a girl's shirt. It's a XXL. Thanks, Noah. I am going to run Eagle X01 on this bike. I do have a power meter that's coming from Stages, so I can have some power data. 36 on Eagle is equivalent to like 32 on XX1, so honestly, I'm more concerned with my chain line being optimized. When I'm sprinting, I want my chain line to be in the middle of my cassette. Another advantage to running a bigger chain ring is it's actually more efficient. It keeps down the noise. Your chain is further away from your chain stays because of the size. So it keeps down any chain slaps, just keeps the ride quiet. Always use a torque wrench, kiddies. 54 Newton meters. Before we get too much further, I'm getting awfully thirsty. Cool story about this bottle of wine. It actually has my name printed on the label. Pretty cool, right? Well, I used to race the Andes Pacifico in Chile every year. Long story short, 3 days into this 6-day stage race, a friend of mine, Christian, blew up a seat post, and I happened to have a spare reverb with me. So I gave him a seat post, and he was able to install it that night and then finish the race. A year later, this showed up. It was a thank you, it was a present from Christian, and I just want to thank him. I told him I'd save it for a special occasion. I'm gonna crack this thing and stay hydrated. Cheers, Christian. Sanchez de Loria, Capsov, 2014. You can tell I've had a little bit of experience doing this. Oh yeah, nice and wet. Just what we're looking for. Last bike build, I drank a bunch of tequila and my bike held together, so yeah, for real. Cheers, Christian. Cool story with that. Cool story, bro. Now that I'm a little more well lubricated, same bar that I put on all my bikes. This is a 750 width, 7x9, 20 mil rise, carbon bar. Stickers go here. You know, it goes good with wine. Surrounded with peppers. Yeah, so here's another part that you want to use a torque wrench on. This is a cool little tool made by Ritchie, 5 Newton meters. As far as grips go, I'm going to run the Ergon GD1. This has been my go-to grip. I run the slim version. Nice soft rubber on here. Roar! While we're talking about Ergon stuff, I am running their new saddle, SM Pro Men. I've been running it for whatever, 3 months now, and it's by far the most comfortable saddle those guys have made. It's got a fart vent, so if you get gassy on the trail, that's not an issue. Fart vent. I honestly kind of stopped wearing a chamois. That's probably more information than you want to know, but it's durable. I've tomahawked a couple times. My bike fell off a big cliff. You might have seen it on the internet. That was bad, Lars. Saddle was fine. Just crank that down. All the technologies. Ooh, this is gonna break eventually. I hope I got it on camera. X01 Eagle drivetrain going on this bike as per usual. It's durable, like pretty proven now. Gonna be intoxicated soon. All I've had to eat today is that pepper. Fortunately, in the man cave, there's no windows, so you can't really tell what time it is. Could be 7 in the morning, could be noon, could be 10 at night. Who's to say? You can live off of Serranos and wine. I am running a Specialized water bottle cage with the multi-tool stuck to the bottom. One less thing I need to remember when I'm in a rush going out to ride, there's always a multi-tool right there. I don't really need to drink water. I can just survive off of wine and peppers. The wine's not helping me put these bolts in. Interesting fact, when you ride through poop, it still sprays up and gets on the top of your water bottle, even if it's inside your frame. I know you were hoping that you weren't going to get Giardia. Unfortunately, you're still going to get Giardia. I get it. It's nice to have a water bottle. Yeah, perfect. One of the things that I really like about the recent Yetis is the internal routing. Jamming in the hole, you don't even have to spin on it, you just feed it through. It kind of takes care of itself. Absolute genius. Thanks, Yeti. Oh, look at that thing. Hey, buddy. Now, I do this on every bike. This little piece of housing right here has the potential to get damaged. I take a little bit of this clear vinyl tubing, protect the piece that goes from the frame exit to the derailleur. We'll be good to go. All right, so let's talk about wheels real quick. This is a new wheel from Zipp. Bad. Who's been making road bike wheels forever, and they're finally getting into the mountain bike game here. 3-0 Moto. It's basically a single wall carbon rim. Something I haven't seen before. The theory here is that they want to allow the rim to flex a little bit side to side and give some compliance and some traction when you need it. The rim is flat if you think of it like that, and when you hit rocks it actually can move and give you traction on the ground. I've been running these for almost 2 months now, and I took them to New Zealand with me my last trip and had really good results. They're stiff when you're sprinting and braking and all that, but they do have a bit of engineered compliance. The theory there is that you get less flat tires. This is a traction factory right here. I've been beating the shit out of them and no complaints. These are 30mm inner diameter. As always on all the bikes, DHF 2.5 on the front. If there's a better front tire, you just let me know, but I think there's a lot of people that would argue that this is the best front tire. So out back, I'm actually running a High Roller 2. Usually I run an Aggressor. I happen to have this High Roller 2. I thought I'd give it a try. This thing rolls great and hooks up and turns. So same deal, 2.5 out back. Good job, Zipp. This is like that. Ooh. Yeah, as far as pressures in these things, it's all monitored with this TireWiz. I can actually look at the app and see exactly what my pressures are. Something else that's really cool is I'll be able to sync the pressures onto my head unit. For racing applications, I can put the front and the rear pressures in big numbers on my dash, right, on my stage's power meter. If I'm halfway down a race round and I hit something really hard and think that I might have flatted, I actually have a visual confirmation if I'm losing air or I'm not. So that's highly useful if you're racing and you're on like a 10-minute stage, you're only a few minutes into it, and you need to make the decision, am I going to stop and, mess with this, put a plug in it, hit a CO2 on it, or am I going to pin it to the bottom? Let's go with this little blinking red light, blinking green light here. All the lights. Please use a real clipper for your cable. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Fender. When I'm filming, things spray up and get on my lens, so I run this thing all the time, whether it's dry or wet or whatever. It's hell light enduro too, so people know that you're extra hardcore if you have a Fender. Alright, so now you got it on the ground, getting real close here. You always want to leave your levers a little loose so you can actually move them. If you crash, they're going to move out of the way instead of breaking off or breaking your bar or something crazy like that. Oh yeah, she's light. Roar! Pimpio ride. It's all about the little details. Moment of truth. Can you still run your backcountry research strap with Axis? Whew, I was a little worried there. And then if you ragdoll, this is like a pad to protect that expensive doohickey. This goes with steak. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. Big cheers to all of you. Thanks to Christian for the wine again. Huge thanks to all my partners who make this stuff possible. Wouldn't be where I am without your support and your love. Definitely appreciate that. And thanks again to Worldwide Cyclery for sponsoring this video. I'll link them below. If you're going to go buy anything, use that link and it'll help my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Let me know if you guys have any questions, if I haven't answered any of them. The real answer to the real question is I didn't finish the bottle of wine, and only because it's so good that I'm going to save it for a couple days and not just chug it, because that could end badly. Yeah, check out Follow Camp Friday. Every Friday, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. You'll find me cry breathing and trying to chase my friends around and riding on some sketchy cliff in the middle of who knows where. Cheers. Thanks for watching.